Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of the Vermont State University Blue Jays College Football Revamped Dynasty here on YouTube. I'm Cody with Tisbury, 33 games. We're going to jump right into it, right into recruiting. Here's an updated look at our board, our races, and you might notice there's a few faces from last episode that are missing. Well, that is because we have secured a couple commitments. Vincent Collier, a JUCO fullback, and the reason why I was heavily recruiting some of these fullbacks is, they're fullbacks, they're probably going to be our best running backs on the roster. As Key Largo native. Dan Mosley, another JUCO defensive tackle, 6'3", 254, might be bumped out to the outside, but still a big get at 74 overall. Rodney Young had a commitment. Tony Lowe, I believe, is the new commitment. Andy Tolbert and Rodney Young we saw in the last episode. So that's what it's looking like right now. Again, another quick run through of who we're going after, where these recruiting battles sit at the moment. And right now, everybody we are leading in. So just again, another run through as we go through by position. These guys probably going to get moved to either tight end or running back. They're going to have the skill for that. 2 of our 3 receivers have committed so far. On the tackle front, we have 1 and are in the company of 2 more. And if any of those battles are lost, we have 2 other tackles to go after as well. This guard, Terrence Harris, he is in a big battle. Jonathan Woods, Lance Kelly, those are 2 good guys. Kelly should be committing soon. On the defensive end, you have these 2 guys, Luke Robinson and Thomas Holt. Defensive tackles, Kenny Woods is our backup. Dan Mosley, again, the big fish of this recruiting class. Outside linebackers, here they are. We're leading in all but Cliff Sherman, but if Jacob Brooks and Paul Sherman commit, I would not be too upset about it. Wesley Sledge, Jared Rhodes, and Donald Britt are our middle linebackers. A few defensive backs here. Jeremy Stevens, Derek Rogers, Nick Lindsay, Larry Robinson, and Chris Lacey. No safeties or other defensive backs. And again, that one kicker we were recruiting has gone elsewhere. Let's check out the top 25 polls. We haven't seen these since the beginning of the season. Right now we have 8 Power 5 undefeated teams. Auburn, Alabama, your top 2. That's going to be a fun Iron Bowl at the end of the year. Navy, who was number 1, hasn't lost yet, but has only played 3 games. Like a lot of bye weeks to begin. Miami, Texas, California, Miami of Ohio. Again, we're going to be seeing the Red Hawks later on, and they are sitting at the number 7 team in the country after beating Akron barely 21-17. LSU, the highest rated 1-loss team. Oklahoma stays at 10 after eviscerating us, and they have the Red River rivalry with number 5 Texas. Going to be the game of the week most likely. Rutgers, Clemson, Louisville, UCF, and USC. As we're just going to scroll down now, some of these teams. Surprises, some of them not so much, and I doubt we're receiving any votes. As it looks like Notre Dame, Arkansas, A&M, and Air Force all dropped out. Georgia getting some love, Notre Dame. FIU, that's actually James Madison in this game. Air Force still hanging around. South Carolina looks like the team that's knocking on the edge there. Take a look at Buffalo's squad, and here's Chester James, number 3 in the nation in passing yards so far this year. Doing a phenomenal job, also getting it done on the ground. And their 2 running backs, Fred Smith and Jeff Caldwell. You see 80 overall for Chester James. Here's what the receiving room is looking like and what they're doing. They're led by Ronald Hill, one of the best rated wide receivers this year. On the defensive side, Allen Young, Brandon Hill, and Chris Jordan. So the defensive ends getting a lot of tackles, with Chris Jordan being one of the best pass rushers and run stoppers in the entirety of the NCAA. Few interceptions, and a lot of them coming from the linebacking core. Few deflections, getting a lot of hands-on balls, and some fumbles, and no safeties, blocks, and 1 touchdown. So, we will see what the Blue Jays have in store against their first conference game against the Buffalo Bulls. We'll be back pretty shortly here on ESPN. We'll meet you there in the game. Howdy, folks, and welcome in to UB Stadium here. Vermont State Blue Jays taking on the Buffalo Bulls here in MACtion, the first MACtion for the Blue Jays this year. It's Chester James and Ronald Hill against Jadon Warren and Alan Carter, and we will see how the Blue Jays respond, trying to pick up their first win of the year. So the Blue Jays win the toss. They'll elect to kick. Chester James drop back to pass. He's going to flick it over to the left sideline. That's caught by Ronald Hill, one of the best receivers in the country. He tackled by Isaiah Concepcion, but not before a gain of 39 yards. Buffalo's going to hurry up. That's their style of play. They love to run and gun, and we'll see what they have for their second play of the game. A handoff. That's Jeff Caldwell. He's going to move his way to the right side. Plenty of room. No defenders until 15 yards down the field. And that's another big gain for the Bulls. Fast forward a little bit. It's going to be another no-huddle situation. Chester James takes the option, breaks a tackle, and is going to knife his way into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game for Buffalo. So they go up 6-0. They'll tack on the extra point, and it will go to 7-0. And Chester James, a low-key, really good quarterback here in the MAC conference. Jadon Warren, 6 yards on the quarterback keeper. And like we've seen all year, he is on the ground, and he is hurt. So 6 yards, but that takes away your starting quarterback, Darvion Dudley, who we've seen all year. Back him up, and just like we've also seen all year from him, kind of throw into the dirt, and that will stall out the drive. Back a little bit later, Warren back in the game. He flings a pass all the way to Kalon Foster for 10 yards. Good to see Warren back in the game, and it looks like Blue Jays are inches away from their first down. It's going to be a power formation, tight end in motion. Carter to the outside. He gets hit in the backfield, but able to shrug it off and picks up a nice gain of 7 for the first down. Later on, 2nd and 7, about 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Warren surveys, and the field opens up for Kalon Foster, who picks up a first down after 9 yards. Tried to put on a move, but ended up getting put in his place. 2nd and 5, Carter. Nice spin move to evade pressure, and a lot of energy expended for just a 1 yard. But 1 yard nonetheless. It's a 3rd and 4. Big play. See if this drive can continue. Warren back, and it's going to be completed to Foster. Pressure in his face, and kind of lofts that one right between 3 or 4 defenders. Kalon Foster, 3 catches, 32 yards here on this drive. 2nd and 7 now. Warren play action. He is stuffed. That's a sack for Chris Jordan. And this drive will stall here in 3rd and 14, and it will be a field goal kicked for Williams and the Blue Jays. Next play, first play, and it's going to be Ronald Hill is going to take a nice little run off the jet sweep, and he'll be drugged down by his face mask, tack on an extra 15 yards to that run. So getting Ronald Hill involved in all sorts of different ways. Again, a 90-plus overall wide receiver here at Buffalo. Chester James going to pass it to Hill again for a huge gain of 51 yards. Again, if it was the left sideline, then the jet sweep, now the right sideline for Ronald Hill. He's doing whatever he wants against this Blue Jay secondary. We're going to go no huddle here. 1st and 10. About 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here. It's going to be Jeff Caldwell. He's stopped in the backfield by Jason McKinley. McKinley is safety and has been one of the better defensive backs. That safety tandem of him and Drew Wade are pretty formidable. 2nd and 13 right after that play, and James going to take off. No one there to keep him at bay, and he will go 14 yards untouched right up the gut for the 2nd touchdown for the Bulls. 14-3, Vermont State finds itself yet again, behind in their 5th straight game, and another sack, and Jadon Warren this time will stay down. Charles Heron gets there for his first sack of the day, and this is going to be the end of Warren's day. See him writhing in pain, per usual. Nothing happens with Dudley at quarterback, and we're going to go to 2nd and 10 here, the last play of the first quarter, and it's going to be slinged over the middle. Chester James hooks up with Brandon Turner for a first down, and that was going to do it here for the first quarter, and Buffalo puts up 14 points to Vermont State's 3. So 2nd and 6 right after that commercial break, and it's going to be Caldwell. He's going to not get touched until about 30, 40 yards downfield. Drew Wade brings him down around the 20-yard line or so, but already 61 rushing yards for Jeff Caldwell. Chester James, again to his favorite target, Ronald Hill, and that catch right there puts him over 100 yards already. 15 yards on that play alone. 3 catches, 105 yards. 2 streaks down each sideline. And then that play right there, going to go no huddle. And it's going to be Chester James for the 3rd time today on the ground. Begin to get a rushing touchdown from him. 3rd and 7, trying to get something. Vermont State has yet to really move the ball at all in much of their games with Dudley, and before he can even let that ball go, he is hit in the backfield, 1 for 5 passing, and it is not good. Something we've come to expect here in Montpelier is offense not being able to get anything, as Turner takes the jet sweep, and just like Hill, he has room, but even more so. Turner, 31 yards for him. He's brought out of bounds. Looks like Wade. We will pick it up here at 2nd and 2. Chester James, read option. All the way down. Probably could have just kept it outside and scored, but now 29 yards and tackled by Dylan James, the cornerback. Going to go no huddle, 1st and goal. Again, this Buffalo team likes to keep it moving, push the pressure, keep the defense on their toes. James, handoff, Caldwell on the draw, and he will get untouched down to that pylon to the left side and score. So already 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 by the quarterback, 1 by the running back finally. Dudley passes, and he got to hit wide open guys. Foster wide open, and Dudley just can't hit him. And these are some things that the play calling, I think, has been fine, and then getting guys open is just the inability to make passes. Again, McDougal this time getting a hand on it. Dudley can't find the receiver. And even though, obviously, having Jadon Warren back there helps some things, he's a little bit more mobile. As here's a tackle for loss is Jason McKinley again. This is his 2nd TFL of the game. Dudley just really can't do much, and it's been hindering the offense. Chester James drop back to pass again. No pressure getting home, and Caldwell able to run basically a wheel route up the field. 1st down, 13 yards. We will skip ahead now. We find the Bulls on there about 5-yard line or so. James looks, passes, and that's the tight end, Henry Neal, for the touchdown. First passing touchdown of the day for the Bulls, and make it 5 total, as they're able to find the big tight end, one of their star players, getting involved for the first time. Darvion Dudley needs something good. You see Vermont already putting down wasting some clock. And what a gorgeous pass. And you see some flashes by Dudley. He just can't get it together. But right there, 59, 60 yards for Foster. And that was a pretty pass. Darvion Dudley, 4th and 5. This is going to be an incomplete pass. And folks, we're going to take it to live commentator Cody right now. And as you see here, it looks like we have a frozen game. So what we're going to do is just basically simulate this game till next week. And happens when you're playing on console, man. So you might see this from time to time. So as of right now, looks like we are just going to have to simulate this first week. I really don't feel like playing it over again. So here are the stats from the game that we have simulated. So some things got messed up. I think this is how we're going to do it going forward now. I'm going to have a video coming out pretty soon. Just the way I record, it's pretty new. It's a hobby. I just started out here. I don't have exactly the top of the notch equipment. I don't have, like, I play on a console. It's a 7, 8, 9-year-old PlayStation that I'm using. So we might not get exactly as far as I want with this Dynasty. We don't get as frequently as I want with this Dynasty. But we're going to figure it out. I'm going to kind of detail some things and some of my thoughts, and hopefully get some of your thoughts in the comments below. This is just the statistics of, so this is the statistics we're going to go by. This is what is saved in the game. Spoiler, and I'll talk about it in the next episode that releases. The game after that, after this, against either the game after this against Northern Illinois, or the game after the Eastern Michigan game, which would be the next game after this. That game froze like completely. I played a whole game and then it froze. I was so put out over it. We'll figure this out. If we have to kind of switch up the direction of the channel, we'll have to. I've enjoyed this. I've been having fun getting my ass beat, really. But we're going to try to salvage this as much as possible. It is just a hobby at the end of the day. But I do want to keep making these videos, but there are a lot of things going against me in that regard. So we'll see you guys back to live commentating Cody here in just a moment. So you saw the re-simulation. I think that's how we're just going to handle it for right now. Again, so you'll see the highlights of that first half of that first game. Those stats won't count. We'll use whatever was simulated here as we look at some of the game stats that we ended up with at the end of this game. And either way, it was going to be pretty bad, but who knows? Who knows what would have happened? So I think that's going to do it for our first conference game and our first episode in conference. Again, sorry for the anticlimactic start to conference play, but we have plenty more MACtion coming up. So again, if you like this episode, again, apologize for the technical difficulties. If you like this episode, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment on that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time here for Disbury 33 Games. I'm Cody Shalfu, and have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody.